Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies, bringing you another video in my new Leagues of Votann playlist. Once again, a big thank you to Games Workshop for sending me out the new army box for review and helping me to make these videos. So far we've already done the Kahl and the Prospector Jet bikes, and so those are the two videos that are already out for this series. Now it's time to go on to a normal League of Votann basic infantry warrior. I chose the Sergeant because he's a little bit cooler. But yeah, very nice models, and I'm very much looking forward to showing you guys how to get them on the table quickly and efficiently. I just want to say a big thank you to all of my current patrons out there. Without you guys, I would not be able to keep the lights on or continue to make these awesome videos. So thank you guys very much for the support. If anyone out there is not a patron and is looking to get involved in all the extra activities and stuff like that to goes alongside being a patron, then there's links to that kind of stuff up below. Thank you guys so much, and let's get into the video. Okay, it's time for the video on the Hearthkyn Warriors, the basic infantry for the new Leagues of Votann. So I'm going to start with Space Wolves Grey, and I'm going to be working on all of their undersuits. They basically have like combat fatigues underneath their armor. I was looking forward to seeing how this kind of smoky blue look would look next to the red, and the other two videos with the Kahl and the Prospector jet bikes, they just didn't have a lot of the cloth on show, so I am actually super excited to see the end process and see how all the colors fit together properly. So like I said, Space Wolves Grey, contrast was applied all the material. There's a few tricky bits of it around arms and in next to the like stomach segments of armor, as you can see. So just make sure you get all the bits and pieces. Blood Angels Red was used as a base coat for all of the armor panels then across the miniature. Quick and easy, all you want to do is try your best to avoid hitting anywhere that isn't armor. So that goes for his face, the belt, and any bits you've already done blue. But this goes on super smooth, super effective because of all the segmented plates. There's no really big flat surfaces that you need to worry about. So you get to apply it in quite a relaxed manner. You don't have to be worrying about pooling or anything like that too much. I am looking forward to getting the full 20 Hearthkyn Warriors all painted up and seeing what they all look like in a unit together. It's going to look so cool. So here's all the red armor blocked in. Now it's time to use a black Templar contrast to get the military boots, or moon boots, or combat boots, whatever you want to call them, blocked in. And then also I'm going to use this as an opportunity that anywhere that I want there to be silver, I'm going to block in with the black as well. If you've noticed, everywhere that's going to be gold, I've also done with the red, as red is a fantastic base coat for any gold, which you will know if you had watched the Kahl video I did a couple days ago. But for now, just block in anywhere it's going to be silver with the black as well as the boots. Wildwood was used as the base coat for the belt. Obviously, he's got his big equipment belt wrapped around, a bunch of pouches, and the holster for his pistol. So all of those bits can get done with Wildwood. Quick and easy step. And then from here we go to Golem and Flesh as a very quick base coat across the face. There's not a lot of face showing in these models, so this is a very quick stage. Lastly, we're going to apply some lead belger, lastly we're going to do the metallic. So we're going to do some lead belger and some gold before we get onto the wash stage. So lead belger was used for anywhere that we want there to be actual metallic. So there's a little clip on his belt, obviously the buckle of his belt, the blade of his sword, and then his pistol is all going to be done in lead belcher. As you can see, I'm kind of doing a layering job on this, so I'm not going to fill in all the details with black. You may be wondering why I did black first. Silver or gold straight over a really bright base coat, it doesn't come out quite that nice. It's really hard to get a nice solid coat, so doing a quick coat of black contrast before we go into the silver, it really does work a treat. Retributor Armor Gold was then used for anywhere that I want there to be gold in this miniature. So on a basic infantry that isn't the Sergeant, for instance, I don't think there's a lot of gold on them at all. So for instance, there wasn't a lot of gold. In fact, there was no gold on the Prospector jet bikes. But he's got a nice powered sword, which denotes his rank. So we're going to give the pommel and the crossguard on that to gold. And then he has one of the banner pole style things And they actually have uses in the game, very cool rules. But they're obviously going to get some detail as well. So we're going to do the ornamental head in gold, and then obviously all the filigree down the length of the arm, we're also going to go in gold as well. And once all those bits and pieces are blocked in, it's time to go and shade the miniature. So like all of the other models I've done in this play so far, we're going to use Hearthkyn Fleshtone. It's a really nice warm tone, and it's going to sit really well on top of the red and the gold and any other bits and pieces. It's just going to work nice. If it's not ideal to go over with, so for instance the cloth, it's not the perfect color to go over it, but it won't make any difference whatsoever when we get to the layering stage. That's why I'm always a fan of one solid shade instead of trying to, you know, jump back and do a different shade for the cloth and a different shade for the red. It just slows down the whole process, whereas you have different shades bleeding together. So, and this is as it dried, and as you can see, it looks fine on the cloth. It hasn't done anything strange to anything really. It's just made everything pop, and it's ready for the layer stage. So the armor on these guys is a two-stage layer. We're going to start with Mephiston Red, and then we're going to very carefully layer up all of the armor panels on the miniature, leaving some of that Blood Angel's red shaded down in all of the recesses and nooks and crannies to really let the panels and the segments of the panels be really defined. This is the stage where I think these models actually come to life, is when we do start to actually layer in all the armor and you get that sense of what the miniature is going to look like when it's finished. And I also find this stage to be quite therapeutic because they're dwarves, they're not that large, and they've got a really nice kind of mix of like the amount of fabric, the amount of armor. Nothing is too tedious or too long to do, so I quite enjoy painting them. Next on to Evil Sunz Scarlet, we're going to do this for our final touch on all of the armor. So all of the kind of highest raised points, we just want to hit with a little bit of Evil Sunz Scarlet just to make that red armor pop. I think leaving at Mephiston Red is just a little bit too dull for these guys. I want their armor to look a little bit special and really stand out on the battlefield. Hence me going in with the Evil Sunz Scarlet for one last touch up. Taking my time not to cover up the entire panel. Like I said, I want to leave some of the Mephiston and some of the Blood Angels there. Being careful not to hit any of the other parts that we're going to be painting up in a second, especially the gold, the cloth, to be honest. And there's the red armor of this miniature, in my opinion, complete. I'm happy with how that looks. It's time to work on the fabric, so we're going to go for Thunderhawk Blue, and we're going to layer up this flight suit, undersuit, boiler suit, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, this is the bit I've been looking forward to really see what the breaks. I think this is going to be more common than the models they've already done for the series. Is the blue is really going to add as a secondary color for the army, which I hadn't really experienced yet. And already I'm really liking the breakup of it. And there we have it, nice blue pants all ready to rock and roll. Rhinox Hide was used to add a very quick, very easy highlight to the brown leather we did earlier. So all he's got is the belt. It's just once again all the higher or flat surfaces across the belt. Just give a little touch of Rhinox Hide. It's not one of those details that anybody who picks up the miniature is going to focus on, so you don't need to worry too much about it. Their eyes are going to be drawn to the red and the gold, so those are the bits that you want to get really nice. Cadian Fleshtone was used as a very quick highlight for the skin. Like I said, there's really not a lot of skin on show with these guys, so the top of his head, his cheeks and his nose, his bottom lip, that's literally all the skin showing on this miniature. And lots of them are wearing masks and bandanas and stuff like that, so you'll be surprised how much of them there won't be any, except maybe a bit of a nose showing through. But we got to get it done anyway, make sure they look really nice. I threw a bit of Cygor brown across his beard. I did forget to film, I do apologize, but whatever color you want your beards to be, throw a dark brown, orange contrast over the top of it, whatever you want to do. I used Runefang Steel, and I'm going to use this to highlight all of the metallic parts across this miniature. That goes for his pistol, the little clip, gold, silver, it doesn't matter. They're all going to get the same highlight. It's going to be a little bit heavier on the silver parts, and then it's just going to be these little scratchy touch highlights on the gold. And it really does make all of those parts pop. adds a little bit of texture to the metallics. And I really like how it looks. We're adding a little bit of white to any of the glowy bits, so he's got a kind of a light in the center of his chest, and he's a couple of like glowy buttons on his backpack. I just throw whatever white you have, just throw a quick coat of it on top of that. We're going to be throwing a contrast over that again in a second. This is just the base coat for that. I then used a standard black. I thought the gun was a little bit too silver, so I went and did the casing of it in black. I had originally planned on doing that at the start, but I think I got overboard when I was highlighting the silver. So I just quickly knocked back the amount of silver on the pistol by giving it, like I said, the casing of the pistol in black. Talazar blue was used to create the glow effect that I wanted. Once again, giving this model kind of an Iron Man's feel because of the colors that I went for, the red, gold, and then a glowy blue chest. I think it looks kind of cool. Of course it does, it's Iron Man colors. And with that, that is one finished Hearthkyn Warrior. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to hear any feedback you have. Do you think they look a little bit too clean for minors and stuff like that? I'm not sure if that is an issue I have. Do I want to add a little bit of texture powder or something just to dirty up and kind of rough up the feeling of the miniature? But as it stands right now, I'm super pleased and I'm going to get the rest of the models painted up ASAP. So thank you guys so much for watching how to paint a Hearthkyn Warrior. And there we have it. We have our first League of Votann Warrior miniature finished. Obviously, I've got 19 more of these guys to paint, so I'm very much looking forward to getting stuck into these guys. I think I'm going to do them in batches of 5. They are quite highly detailed miniatures, and I think 10 might tire me out. So 5 at a time, over 4 evenings, we'll get this box set complete. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the series of League of Votann so far. If you did, make sure you give the video a like. Ask me any questions you like below in the comments and I will get back to each and every one of you guys. If for some mental reason you're not already subscribed to me, I would appreciate you taking 2 seconds out of your day to hit that subscribe button and really help the channel out. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.